everyone, it's Edrian Pangilinan and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, I'm sure y'all are wondering why I'm holding this and why I'm in a different space. And that is because we had actually just finished shooting for Good Morning Sunshine, written by a very good friend of mine, Matthew Portman, and directed by yours truly. Okay. And you know what? I think it's pretty nice to be able to be in a space where I can just record to myself and not have to worry about not have to worry about others thinking that I'm talking to myself, and actually it be very, very cold and very crisp and very nice. So thank you so much Days Inn in El Cajon Boulevard for providing me this space. Not sponsored, but I just wanted to say that because I'm very grateful for having this safe space. I admit, even though I paid for it, but at the same time I'm very, very fortunate for this safe space that I'm in right now. So for today's video, I really want to talk about my decision to ultimately leave my full-time job to pursue my dream, and why it's important for anyone and everyone to do it or even consider taking this leap of faith. So, just a backstory. I graduated last December 2017, with my Bachelor's of Fine Arts in Dance. And, after six and a half years of, working hard, to attain this goal of a bachelor's degree, I got to a point where I was really burnt out and didn't really feel like I wanted to do anything with it anymore. And I don't know if this is a permanent thing or a temporary thing, and I think it's okay, because I say it's okay. Because at the end of the day, no one can take away your education, no one can take away your experiences, your processes, your connections, your lifetime lessons that you've learned, even if you decide to do something else different. So thankfully, right before my finals ended, I was able to get hired at this facility. I'm not going to disclose it. I immediately started working shortly after the new year, and I just couldn't help think to myself how grateful I was to not be part of that, population or that statistic who are unemployed for a bit or for a very long time after graduation. So just what I told myself, I think just in the midst of that, I felt very grateful and humbled to be able to just, start working, to actually have a job that's full-time, that has benefits, great benefits, and that job is being a job coach. Many people that I talk to about this, they actually don't know what a job coach is. It's also known as a community training specialist, and where I work specifically, I work with adults with developmental disabilities. And you would think, and anyone would think that is completely, 180 of what I decided to do, get my degree in, in the creatives, in the arts. And you know what, no regrets actually. And looking back, making the experiences that I've made, the relationships, the friendships, even the memories made with my clients, who I feel like have become some of my dearest friends, because around the time of graduation last year, I admit I was dealing with a lot of depression and loneliness and hopelessness. And I feel like all I wanted to do was for someone to acknowledge me and be there for me. And in this kind of work, I feel like I was able to be that person that I needed in my life. I was able to provide that not just a companionship, but also that nurturing that I had always looked for. And that's why fast forward to August. So I've been working there for about 7 months when I finally decided to you know, ultimately resign from my job, it was very hard. It was very hard for me to make the decision to leave this chapter behind where I have made all of these friendships and memories with these people. And I was there every day, Monday through Friday, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., 3:15, you know, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I was there every day, you know. I feel like this was definitely a significant, you know, chunk of my life that I've spent and dedicated with them. And you know, and you know, just even the thought of not seeing them and not knowing how they're gonna do, and you know, how their life, you know, progresses, just, it breaks my heart. You know, there's that one side of it, but the other side is myself. I realized that I started to lose myself in the process. Because of other factors in my life, it started to translate into my work and my personal life, and it got to the point where, you know, just other situations had made it feel like, you know, that current workspace was not a safe space for me anymore. And you know, like, for a while that was my only safe space, because I'm just gonna put it out there, I just really don't feel safe anywhere in terms of being able to be myself, you know, having that support, that warmth that I've always needed. I feel like I've always had to fight for myself. I've always had to fight for, I feel like I've just always had to fight to be okay. And you know, I'm tired of fighting. It really broke my heart, you know, because I also realized too that as much as I had wanted to blame, you know, the circumstances and the people involved in this, I realized that I myself had as much accountability in this, because I chose and was willing to tolerate this, hence why I was suffering in the long run. Just give me a second, hold on. Hi, give me about 5 minutes. I'm almost done. Dang, they're kicking me out. It's almost checkout time. Sorry. Okay. So I guess in other words, it really had to take for all of this in life for me to realize that, you know, that I really need to work on myself. That in order for me to help best serve others and love others, I need to learn how to love myself. So there's that part of it. I decided to resign and put in my 2 weeks. And I admit I do have another job interview in line, you know, because I don't think I'm that courageous enough to leave my job and be unemployed. But I think just the thought of it, just literally taking that leap of faith, is what I needed to jolt myself up, to bring myself back into, you know, to my, much closer to my, you know, fullest and most authentic self, you know, my most inspired self, loving self, compassionate self, being, you know, in existence. And I'm losing my train of thought, I'm sorry. I'm losing my train of thought. But, so basically, when I finally turned in that letter, one of my co-workers, Tristan, who had also, you know, had just resigned too, said, who had also just put in his 2 weeks, noticed the big weight off my shoulder. And I knew I felt it, but it was just very different when someone else witnessed it. And yeah, I feel happy. You know, even though I don't know where, I admit, as scared as I am, because I don't know where my money's gonna come from now, hopefully from my photography and my YouTube, you know, hopefully, you know, in God's time and God willing, you know, even though that's the case, I'm very happy. I've never felt much more happiness and, you know, peace in my heart to know that I can take charge. So, yes. So, and that dream that I'm referring to is just I guess photography, or for me to really be able to pursue my arts in my own way, to be my own boss. You know, because I've kind of ultimately realized that I don't really want to work for anyone except for myself, and be the boss that I've always wanted, because I feel like, you know, just putting it out there, you know, real talk, I feel like a lot of my bosses have failed me. You know, and I think that's the saddest part, is when you have to leave because of management. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But you know, photography, in terms of like my dream of just being able to be my own person, my own brand, and ultimately self-love and self-care. I ultimately realized that I needed to take a break from all of this to assess and realize what I need to do in order to love and take care of myself, and that is to take a break. Because I also haven't been able to take a break after college. I just went straight into working. Don't get me wrong, I'm very thankful of that. But you know, just sometimes when you go from one thing to the other, you don't get the transition that you feel like you need to be able to make sense of your new chapter or your new reality. So, you know, with much gratitude and humility, you know, I say thank you for, you know, that chapter of my life. And yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm scared. Like, as I'm talking about this with y'all, I am scared as fuck. I'm scared as fuck about what's gonna happen to me next. Like, you know, I'm gonna lose my insurance. I'm gonna lose my medical insurance and everything. But you know what? I've realized that that's not the worst thing in the world, really. You know, because in the midst of everything that happens to our lives, you know, we need to stay intact. We need to be solid. We need to be able to stand so firm rooted into the ground that we're in, and that, you know, in that peacefulness and that light that we have, we can conquer anything. And that is my ultimate message to you know, to y'all watching this, and to anyone, is to really, you know, gather the courage to take that leap of faith, to do that damn thing you want to do. And that was me. And for me, it was to leave and to really decide to fully invest in myself, you know. And as scary as it is, I promise you that your future self will thank you for this, you know, because I feel like a lot of times it's so hard to think about the bigger picture when you're feeling so overwhelmed about the now. In the greater scheme of things, it's so small. And I think you just gotta stay persistent, you gotta stay so strong, but you can make it, you can conquer it. So that'll be it for me. Well, thank you all so much for watching this video, if you made it to the very end. And yeah, like what I said earlier, I just can't help but really feel so much gratitude and humility being able to have this platform to, you know, start sharing my life experiences with y'all. And yeah, I mean, I just really hope that, you know, this speaks to you in some shape or way, you know, whether you decide to take that leap of faith, or even if it just crosses your mind, because whatever the case is, you've already begun to do your work to loving yourself. Please like the video if you like it. Comment down below if you have anything you want to ask me, anything you want to say about this video, and please feel free to subscribe. And yeah, thank you very much. I love you all.